so first of all, a overall market overview. Let's look at the Nasdaq. All-time high, but maybe extended. All the good entries were in this area, in the overall market, and now we are. We could go higher, but it is quite extended. So looking for any breakouts now could be a lot of paper cuts, because a lot of things are topping out. And small caps came out of the range, so far looking bullish, but it is yet to be decided if we can break this range in coming weeks, or if it's a double top and we just go back into range. Is yet to be decided, but in a bullish momentum, so can still look for long positions. And then the trades I took last week. The week started on Tuesday because the market was closed on Monday. So first of all, this GLBS. With this said, this is I'm trying a few different kinds of setups. So this entry right here was this kind of idea, a bottom picking, but I use a certain criteria to get in. But this is what I saw here on the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour candle closed above the 9 EMA, and I thought that we had shaken out 1, 2, 3 times, created a long range, and we were going back up. So that was my idea. I was only looking for like a 3 to 5 hour trade on this one, but as you can see, it reversed on me here. Took 2 days, and then on the 3rd day I got stopped out. So maybe it will come back, but that was not what I was thinking. So one cut there, and then FDMT. Yeah, this is also a bit of an early play. What did I see here? Which day? Tuesday. Oh yeah, right, here. So this was me zooming in a bit way too much. I was just looking at this base, and I've seen things that just take off too fast, and the entry is skipped. So I saw this little head and shoulders in the base combined with the 4-hour chart. So I thought I'll buy above here. A bit premature, and my stop is at the low of the base, and I did get stopped out, but the setup is still very intact. It could trigger this week, so -1 R there. CRBP. This one here. I wonder where I bought it. Yeah, I actually bought it right as the trigger here at 24.13. I had a little bit of a wider risk because I was looking at the 4-hour chart, because it's so illiquid. But it made 2 or 3 R, I think, and I sold off some shares and put my stop loss to break even. I was almost stopped out on this day, but I'm still in the trade, looking for this to go higher. But I don't think it's ready to take off, you know, to new highs. But I think it could bounce up to the slightly above $30 area. So overall, that's like a 3 to 4 R trade in total. So not the best risk reward, but in this environment right now, it's not that many, you know, those 20, 30 R setups. So this was good enough to take, and it worked. And now it's a free trade, because if it gets stopped out, it's break even. So that's good. Still in the trade, yeah. And then root. Oh, this one. So this is what I saw on root. It's an EP. Good earnings, good news, and it gapped up. But the entry in the morning, the opening 5-minute opening range highs was too wide here. It was too big of a risk. So it was a 15% risk on a stock that moves. What does it have now? It had 8% ADR, so it's too wide of a risk. So I bought it on a dip inside here. let's see. Oh yeah, I bought it right here actually. Right here. 1204, and then I sold it for about 2R because it was too fast, and then I bought it back at the same area, and then I sold it again for almost 2R. So I think it's like a 3.5R gain, which felt good here, but then I waited for another entry because I thought it would come down because it was too fast. But then actually, in this case, it would have been better to just hold it because this was a winner. But we'll see how it acts. In next coming days, but still made some profits, but I could have made more profits if I just held it, which is a good lesson. But I have other examples where this does not work. So I'm not in the trade. I got 3.5R out of it, but would have made 10R at this point if I just held it. SSNT. This one I bought right here. It was a bit of a pre-breakout because I looked at the 4-hour chart, and the 4-hour came back and closed above the 9 EMA at an area where I was interested in getting in. So I bought right above here and risking the lows of this 4-hour candle. So far, I think, not sure if I've taken profits, maybe I have, and I moved my stop to break even. I think I'm gonna check on Monday, but so far it's right now it's up 2R, but it was up 3R, but I think this one has potential to go 10R, so definitely gonna hold this one, hopefully gonna climb up here the next coming days. Let's see, TYRA, yeah. So the entry was the EP here 2 weeks ago or something. Yeah, but I was looking at this flag and I think I got in a bit too soon on this day here. Or where was it? Yeah, so when I can't even... Oh yeah, this day, let's see. Yeah, it was this day. Okay, so... yeah, because here it looks kinda good as a breakout. But then it came back, but it's still intact, it can still go, so it's still on my watch list for the next coming days. The question though is that, I mean, look at how it's moved previously. It has never ran, and when it made a flag last time, like this, it was just a chop fest for, you know, a very long time, almost a year. So the question is this volume here enough to take this thing up? I think it's worth trying one more time as it breaks out. So we'll see about that. But another cut there. ALXO. I almost got stopped out of this yesterday. Same here. Coming out of a nice base. The first entry was obviously this one right here. But then it created this base. And the actual entry on this one was here, but I couldn't buy it because it was on Friday. I started trading again on Tuesday here. So I'm looking to get in on this one. And I saw the entry here. Not only did the daily trigger the buy setup, but I saw the 4-hour chart here came back and closed strong, and then it triggered, so I bought right here, risking this low, so not the daily low, because I've seen that this point usually holds, so that's my idea. But I'm looking to raise my stop loss as this thing goes, if it goes. But it has some potential. I think it's at least gonna go up to this level. So that would be a 7-8R trade if it goes. So still in that one. COGT, yeah. This one is a bit sad because I was up 2.5R, but I was at work, so I couldn't sell some profits and raise my stop to break even. So same here, I bought it on the 4-hour chart with the daily picture in mind, looking for this to go up to the $13 area. But it triggered me in, and then it made a nice pop with some crazy volume, and I was up 2-3R, and if I was at home watching this, I would have sold some into this pop and raised my stop to, you know, almost break even. But I was at work, so I couldn't do that, and I got stopped out the next day, which is nice. I mean, look at how this thing is dumped. So a cut there. I think I took a bigger cut than I wanted to because the spread on the exit, so that's not so good. So I lost a bit more than 1R, and now this is just should probably remove this from the recent watch list. So another cut. GXAI. This one I don't even know why I bought it. Well, I do know, but the actual setup was the first green day, which happened here on the 5-minute charts, right here, and that did a 4 to 5 hour trade. But then again, I'm thinking that it has the right name. It's a previous IPO, no history, and I think this one could make another leg. Is it gonna do it right away? Who knows? But I just saw the 4-hour chart again. This is not my usual setup, but I think that if this is gonna build and go higher, this should be the low. So that was my idea, getting in as soon as it triggered above here, but it was too wide, so I bought it here, risking the lows of this 4-hour candle. And this is just like, okay, is this name gonna go crazy and just go to amazing new highs? Who knows? But before that, it's gonna create some sort of a range, and then I could potentially add or raise my stop loss depending on how it looks. So still in that one. Block, yeah. So I bought this as an EP. It had bad earnings, but it gapped up massively. Maybe also news, I don't know. But I bought it, but got stopped out soon after. Yeah, it ended the day red. Let's see here. Yeah. I think cause same here, the 5-minute opening range highs was almost 4%, and this stock moves very slow. It has a 3.75% ADR, so it was too wide of a stop. So I bought it on the pullback here and put my stop at the lows of the day, which is the setup, but then it just reversed, came back and chopped around. So I don't know, maybe it will set up like it did here, because I had the same type of setup here. Gapped up and then it came back red on the day, and it created this very beautiful range on the 4-hour charts. You can see it right there, and you enter on this day, which was another gap up, but then you had the true good entry on this day right here, which probably provided a very good risk reward here, like 1-2%, and it did 50% straight up, so it's pretty nice. But so this was a cut. Let's see here, and then DNTH. This one. I was looking at 2 other stocks, which I'll talk about in a second, and this one I got the alarm at the same time, so I just bought it at market as it triggered. I never waited for the 5-minute close, and I actually got filled super high on my broker, which the price didn't even reach there, but I got filled at like the 80s here. But then a few minutes later it came back, made a new low of the day, and then it came back up. So we will see if this was the entry, but it was super hard and I just got stopped out. But I took my stop. We'll see if it sets up again, but it's a bit extended, and yeah, it's likely not gonna make that big of a move from this base. It's probably gonna make a weak new high and then create a bigger range, if anything. So I'll probably wait for that. And then we have STTK. Again, this is also pre-breakout, playing it off the 4-hour chart to get a bit of an early entry. As long as there's no earnings nearby, and hopefully no bad news. So if this gaps down, then of course that's gonna be very sad. Gonna have to cut it for a bigger loss, but so far it looks very good. 1 or 2 inside days here would be very nice, and then I can add and raise my stop and have double the size with like a break-even trade. And this one can, yeah, this has some nice momentum. you go to the 17 area, let's see. On this first entry, that's a 17 risk reward. But if I get another ad, that could be a 30-40 risk reward. So we'll see how that goes, if this goes higher. I don't like the wick it had on the pre-market here on this day. But then again, looks super nice right there. So just watching it, still in the trade. And okay, so those were the 12 trades I took this week. And then I was watching Carvana. I've been watching this for so long here, but the EP never provided a good entry. So let's see, this is the big picture. So it has a huge, here we go, huge head and shoulders here, and it broke the neckline inside, and inside of this head and shoulders it had another head and shoulders here. So it's a super nice setup on a semi-leading name. So this one can go far, but it never gave me a good entry. So I'm thinking it's gonna do something like it did here or here, because this breakout day actually came back and stopped out. So I think it's gonna go sideways here for a few days and create a better range on the 4-hour chart. So that's what I'm just waiting for now. I was watching this the whole day, but it never gave me an entry because the 5-minute opening range highs was 8%. So what I've learned over the years is that when something goes too fast, that means it's likely gonna fail soon after, and another opportunity will be given later. So all the people who FOMO bought this one with the too wide of a risk they didn't get stopped out actually. So we'll see if it's gonna slightly peak under this day in the next coming days. But anyway, I'm just looking at the 4-hour chart to give me some clues in the next couple of days. And then we had, which one was it? Yes, this one. Not really the same setup as Carvana, because this one is just in a downtrend, but it had this massive gap up on nice volume, and I wanted to buy the 5-minute opening range highs, but again it was too wide. It was a 23% risk, so there was nothing here. So again, just waiting for this one. If it sets up on the 4-hour chart, I will be looking at it. So those are the trades, and I think I ended the week -1R, -2R, which it's I mean, it's not nice, but I took all my stop losses, which I love, and I at least had some sort of a plan on all the trades, even though some or most of the trades are not the actual setups I'm looking for. I'm looking for those big breakouts, but there are none right now in this market, like I talked about earlier, because of how extended we are. So the first couple of breakouts were in this area, and the next couple of really good breakouts were in this area. So we'll see what happens here. So those are my thoughts. I think I did good on the week. Again, saying that I had a plan for each single trade, even though they were not the best setups, but I had a plan for them, and I took all my stop losses. So that's very good. And also I realized that I should lower my risk even more, because if there are no great setups, I should not be playing 0.5% risk. I should be playing 0.4 or actually 0.3% risk, just to stay fresh. And then when I see one of those really good setups, then I could double that risk. So I think I'm actually gonna this week go even lower on the risk with a 0.3% or 0.35%, just so that I don't get cut open. And whenever I see something really good, so let's say Carvana sets up in a few days. So if I'm usually playing with 0.3 risk, then I'll add to 0.6% risk on this one. So I go double on a good setup, but then I can still play around a little bit with the smaller ones. So this is also a full size whenever it's going, because it's looking really good. So those are some thoughts, and let's see, improvements. improvements. What can I do more? So of course I can always wait more. But I haven't showed those names, but there were a few names this week that just took off and they never really gave you an entry. Unless you bought it a bit premature. So I should either just look away whenever those things happen and wait for these types of setups. And have more discipline with waiting is an improvement I can make. But again, took my stop losses. I had a plan for each and every single trade. I could wait a bit more. That's one thing I can do, and I'm gonna lower my risk even more next week and only increase the risk when I see something that's absolutely perfect. I think that's a good way to stay alive and still play around a bit with those semi-random trades. Yeah. And alright, so next week's ideas. All of these, let's see here. All of these names are names that I'm looking for next week. So I'm gonna go through them and explain why I wanna look at them. So this one is just here from, I left it here. DWAC. So DWAC, I'm looking for it to, man, I mean, it came out of this super nice base on some mad volume. And then this is the area where everyone's going short and they're expecting this thing to go to zero. But it held up, created the first range here, but then it gapped up over and had a red day. Actually looks a bit better on the 4-hour charts. So right now I'm thinking that, here we go. If this range is broken, right here. So get 1 or 2 more days, create something like this. And then it breaks out here. That's a good buy on the day, and you can probably get a really good risk reward setup. But it's gonna take a few days. It has to tighten up a bit. Same with this one. This one is super interesting because it's a new name. It has no price structure to the left, means open skies. But it has to tighten up here. It has to do something more. Let's see if the 4-hour says something different. No. It's still a bit all over the place. Something like this actually is a good range to watch. So that's also a good watch. Again, in 2-3 days I would be very interested if it goes. Same here. I don't like that. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of looking something like this. And you're like looking at it to go something like that, but then it never went. But it is coming out of a nicer base, something more like over here, I would say. So yeah, it could be worth it. Yeah. It's looking quite nice. It needs a few more days though, same as the other ones. FGen. It kind of looks good. Again, it needs needs even more time. Has to create something like this. I have to reload this tab. There we go. So whenever this thing does something like this in maybe, and not even this week actually, maybe next week. Yeah, for sure. One inside week here would be nice, and then trigger the coming week up to this area. Could provide a good risk reward if it does that. It looks super similar to the small cap index here. This one, yeah. Super nice momentum. So whenever this goes, it's probably gonna have a nice second leg. But it is very extended. Has this overhanging big trend line. See if you can break it. Maybe. Needs a few more days, at least. This one I'm only watching because they have earnings on Tuesday. So I'm thinking it's already extended, but it's coming out of this very nice base. The actual entry was down here on this day. Right there. So I'm a bit late to the party. But if it has a bit of a gap up with some momentum, it could be a good entry to ride it to the $8 to $10 area. OGI, yeah, it looks tight and nice. Oh yeah, it had some nice history similar to this one right here, I think. Yeah. A bit slower, but you can see the similarity coming out of somewhat of a base, something like this. 1, 2, 3, and on the fourth try it went. Kind of similar action here, so I'm thinking that it's a good watch for a quick move to maybe $3 or something. Yeah, maybe, but the actual entry was here on this day. Yeah, look at that. Look at the base on right there. So that was the entry for this one, and you're up quite good if you took that one. 3% risk. It's up 50% on a 3% risk so far. But I'm thinking that I can make one last move up to, I don't know, maybe it's not even worth it. I should not watch this. Only if it sets up really nice on the 4-hour chart. Just looking at this head and shoulders, thinking that this is the pullback to the head and shoulders. But is it gonna do this? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? At least maybe this area. So looking for a few inside days here and play it on the 4-hour charts once it closes above this 9 EMA. Could be something. Altimmune. Oh man, look at this setup right here. Ridiculous. Look at that. COVID times. Good times. So right now it's looking, it's a bit extended. I mean, this was a low base flag. This one is quite up there, but maybe. So I would either play this one on the breakout, or if this one comes back here and everyone's thinking it's gonna go lower, maybe it does go slightly lower, then I would want to buy it as soon as the 4-hour comes back into range. Maybe with a bit of a smaller risk, and then I can add if it breaks out. Oh yeah, this was a previous idea, but it's so extended, so I'm gonna wait for this to set up in a few weeks. Let's see. Yeah, and TTOO, man, I'm looking at it, watching it. It could be a bit soon, but I don't know. It does not have the same momentum it had over here. This was such a good risk-reward trade. Look at that. 400% with like a 5-8% risk. And I bought it here. I bought it, but I sold it way too soon. So I'm thinking, I don't know. It's gonna go now, maybe. I think it's worth a try if it comes out of even this little range. This little range here. Maybe. It's a tough one. It's not perfect, because this one was perfect here. It was so nice. But still worth a watch. Yeah, I don't. It's too whippy. I don't know. It's no clear setup so far. Actually, this one needs so much more time. This one I'm looking at as a bit of a bottom picking play, but I'm waiting for strength. First of all, a bit of a base here to prove that it's gonna hold this area, because it made, you can see this weak new high here that took out the very highs. Then we have 1 shakeout, 2 shakeout, 3 shakeout, 4 shakeout. So people should have sold by now, if anything. And I'm looking at this, and it has the best setups at the bottoms, in my opinion, or coming out of the bottoms. It's that type of stock, so that's why I'm watching it for this little base here at the bottom, but waiting for certain criteria to be met before I attack it. Kodiak, actually quite nice. I would like it to stay here for a few more days, though. Yeah, quite a few more days. Palantir, I bought this EP right here, but I sold it up here, so I'm waiting to add with more size if it sets up a flag here, somewhat like it did over here. This one was a bit faster though, because the gap wasn't as extended as this one. And we're hitting some, you can see this trend line was sloping down, but here we have this upsloping trend line, so I guess this is the line in the sand. We need daily closes above here in a range for this one to keep on going. But this one could be very nice, explosive. We will see. Yeah, I was thinking that if this day right here was the entry, but there were no shares. It's so illiquid, and it came back down, so it's good. Hopefully it will print a better pattern over the next week. And this one I'm watching. This one I wanted to buy right here. It's a super tiny range on the 4-hour chart combined with the bigger picture, because I think this one is gonna go back to this area and fill this gap, actually, even maybe up here. Something like, I think NVAX had a similar. No, which one was it? I don't even remember. Or was it here? Maybe it was. I don't know. August. Yeah, I don't know. Where were we? We were at Phoebe. Yeah, it has a gap to fill up here, so I'm thinking it could go to this area and create a big double top and then roll over. And I missed the entry because on the 5 minutes here, I wanted to buy it. Let's see. Yeah. Right in between here. I should have added more spread to my entry, so I missed it. Maybe we'll provide another setup further on, we'll see. It's a bit of a big, maybe a handle here would be nice. This one, I don't know. It's I think there are so much more better setups that I can take than this one. But if it sets up perfectly, it's worth a try. Soundhound holding up very nice. It's funny, it's gapping up every day and closing red, but it's still making higher lows. If this is like the leader, or is it? No, the leader is AI. Oh, okay. So I guess sound is the now leader. If this one can get out of this area, that could be insane. Maybe up to this 8.5 area. So that's what I'm watching, waiting for maybe actually on Monday or Tuesday this one could go. Maybe, we'll see. TYRA. Maybe. Same here, I think there are better setups that are worth my time and not this one, but we'll see. Same there, Carvana. Yeah, now we have all the Bitcoin plays like Mara, Bitfarm and CLSK. But I'm looking at CLSK as the leader because they have the same similar price structure, but CLSK is hovering, you know, above the highs here. And Mara is not, it did not even clear this high. So I'm thinking that should stick to the leader, but I could play all three of them. But I think getting in on a flag here is the best option. Wow, it's coming out of a really nice, or it's gonna go to this area maybe at least, and that's quite the move from 16. We'll see about that. And same here, not as strong. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, wait. I do like the range, but maybe it's too soon. It's worth a watch. Not yet. Lunar, yeah. Needs more time. It's the 1, 2, third leg. Massive volume here. Double top on the intraday or the after hours charting. So some more time here. Create a big range would be nice, if anything. This one is a bit of a bad risk reward. It's a bit extended from the trend, so I would want 1 or 2 more weeks here. Same, this one, the entry was on this day right here. Creates this range, shake out, comes back, has this one inside day, and then it slightly gaps up, and you can get in. Let's see the 5-minute chart right here. Oof, bit of a tough one because of the how illiquid it is, but if you have small size you can play these. Same here, almost not worth it. It needs more time. Yeah, maybe needs more time at least. Can sorta see it's such an unclear range so far, but of course this general area in a few days maybe. And this one actually looks super nice on the daily, but on the 4-hour chart it looks awful. So I don't know. I would like feels too soon if it's gonna go here, but who knows. It's worth a watch. QBTS. Yeah, 2-3 days here, if anything. What is this? I guess if it creates a range, but nothing I'll play this week probably. Needs more time. Then square, I don't know. It's, if I should try it again. It's such a slow stock, but if it comes out of this base, I mean, but then again, so many times you think that it's it's time to go, like here. I mean, how many people didn't think we were gonna go to this area from this point, but then it shook out and gapped down. Oh my god. And then again, one more time, and back down. And this was the COVID dump. But so many times you expect things to go right away. Of course, it's good to have an imagination, because otherwise you can't play these stocks. All you have to do is take your risk and take your cut when it comes, if it comes, and you just try over and over until you get this move right here. Wow, it's just so nice how it ran here. This entry right here was insane. So the question is it ready to go right now? All I can see is this head and shoulders, and if it creates a pattern here in a few days, then it could potentially go higher, but who knows. Maybe it's also too soon. Has to create a bit of a proper higher low here before it goes. We'll see. So that's all my plan for this week, and of course I'll find new plays over the days, some new runners with volume, but this is the general list that I'm watching for next week. And out of these, I don't know, 20-30 names, it's maybe 5 or maybe 5 names that I think will go next week. Alright, so next update next week. Bye.